How would you evaluate your performance today?
Yeah, it was a great bounce back after last week. Disappointed after last week. Oh, thank you. We practiced pissed off, came out with the right mentality, and we just played Alabama football.
What's going to be your message tomorrow in the players' meeting? Now that you have a big win,
Just doing the same thing over and over again. We practiced, like I said, we practiced mad. We, came out with a mission and one thing in mind, and that's to, play the standard of Alabama football, and that's what we did. And I was really proud of the guys. They did a good job sustaining all week. I asked them to challenge me after my performance last week, and guys like Parker, D-Law, Tim Keenan, they challenged me, and I think it helped us overall as a team. We just can't take the foot off the gas. We've got to keep going.
Kalen said the response kind of started on the plane all the way back to the game last Saturday. Just what did you see from the response from the team starting then and all week leading up to this game?
Yeah, I could tell that, guys on the plane, like, it just was just a different type of vibe. Like, guys were mad, guys, were just shell-shocked and, just can't believe that it happened. And I could kind of tell on Sunday that, it was going to be a different type of week, a different type of vibe. The coaches, really pushed us, the leaders on the team, and me including. And it just was, really great to see. And so, we're just going to keep going and make sure that, we understand that, this means nothing, and just, play our brand of football.
Ty, how great was it to see all that prep work this week translate to such a dominant win like that?
Yeah, it feels great, but we just got to keep doing it, do it again. Just because we did it one week doesn't mean anything. We just got to, I'm going to do it the next week and, a week after that. And, I'm going to challenge my coaches to, keep coaching me like they did this week.
You talk about the way the guys challenged you. What were the ways they challenged you? What did they ask of you? How do you feel you improved from week one?
Yeah, I think everybody knows that I didn't have the best game last week. I said that to you guys. I told y'all and the Alabama fans that I was going to make sure that, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I told, the leadership group that after the game, I was like, guys, look, like, first off, I want to apologize and say I'm sorry. Like, I didn't play very good, and I feel like I cost us, a lot of points in the game. But I want y'all to know, and I want y'all to understand that I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that it doesn't happen again. I want y'all to challenge me every day as a leader and as a player to, do the little things right. And be vocal even when stuff gets down, have high energy on the sidelines, and that's what I think we need to take in in and out of the season, just to understand that we got to play, have fun, sustain, and do the little things right.
So obviously, I'm curious with all of the lead up, eager to make a response, things like that. When you stepped off the bus to go to Bryant-Denny today, did it feel different at all, or what was that like for you?
Yeah, it's always feels good coming home. First start here, I just kind of, I felt all week that, last week I made it bigger than what it is. I was worried about the noise, worried about, all this, pleasing people. I kind of lost the joy of it, if we're being honest. And so when I stepped off the bus today, and just, doing the Walk of Champions, I just, brought back so many memories from years of my career. And honestly, just felt like a camp day scrimmage. Just coming out here, just having fun with the guys, just, playing loose, playing fun. And Coach, DeBoer says it all the time, like, let it loose. And he doesn't mean like, be lackadaisical, have, just kind of like, loose and everything, but just, be confident and understand that your prep for the week, is having fun on Saturdays, and so that's what I feel like we did best.
What was the message from coaches this week as far as competition and quarterback for the team as a whole?
Sorry,
what was the message from coaches about the competition and quarterback and the team as a whole, competition in all positions?
Yeah, he just was just like, hey, we're just gonna make sure that we give the best chance to win, and just understand that. We're going to make sure that we give the best opportunities to everybody. And so he was just like, just keep on playing your game, and don't worry about anything else.
Speaking of those opportunities, how was it seeing Austin and Keelan actually get out there and get on the center and do what they do?
Yeah, man, that makes me smile. I'm super proud of those guys, man. I feel like as a quarterback room, we're the closest room on the team, because we're such a special position, only one of us can play. and then two, just how we are as a group. Those guys worked extremely hard all week. They helped me out, understanding stuff. And the fact that they got to go out here today and show everybody like what they're capable of, and helped us score points it makes me so happy. I feel like a big brother, you know what I mean? Seeing Austin and Keelan work, because those guys are extremely great players, and the futures to this program.
You were 17 of 17 today. Just what was clicking for you on offense, and have you ever had a game where you connected that many passes in a row before?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, it felt great. I just kind of did what I was, practicing all week and made sure I was disciplined and everything, and just played ball.
And Ty, what was, when you guys watched the film, what was Nick Sheridan's message to you going into this start?
He just was like, be you, do the little things right, and just play ball. That's kind of his message to me, and that's what I felt like I did best today. Just played my game.
With the early start next week versus Wisconsin, how do you guys just continue just to keep this cohesiveness on offense, on defense, and play up to that Bama standard, and continue to string together good performances?
Yeah, it starts tomorrow. We're going to watch the film, evaluate, go over everything. We've got a 24-hour rule here. As most people know that you can celebrate the win for 24 hours, but then we just got to go on to Wisconsin and understand that this is a different opponent. That last week didn't matter, and the week before that didn't matter. It's a new week, and we just got to go 1-0 and go do what we do.
What do you like about Latsier Bros?
Man, I like him a lot, man. He's an elusive player. He's fast, physical, and he puts his nose in the box when he needs to block, man. He's very, selfless and everything. And guys like him, play a long time in the league and help us in a lot of different ways. So one, for him to step up as a freshman is huge, but two, after he came in, not only in the spring but in the summer, and just just did everything that he's done, man. It's been very, very, very impressive, and I'm proud of him.
What kind of weapon is Kevin Riley for you on offense, just running ball and catching passes down the backfield?
Yeah, he's a man. I was really, really proud of him tonight. I told him I was proud of him in the locker room, just because of, I'm sure he was nervous, coming to Alabama, being from Tuscaloosa. But man, like he ran fearless. He didn't have any fear whatsoever. He put his head down, ran. He's elusive in the backfield, and he's going to help us a lot, especially when we get jammed back.
Is it more challenging to kind of keep up the hunger and intensity after a win like this than it would have been after the last game?
I don't think so. I mean, we win one game and everybody's, happy. Like, we got a long season. That's what I try to tell everybody, after the first game. Like, we lost one game, everybody's upset. We got a long season ahead. Like, it don't change nothing for us.
You talk about finding the joy amidst the noise. This is probably the noise this week this program's seen in quite some time. How did you find that joy here, and how do you think this sets you up for the trials that are ahead?
Yeah, I just kind of thought back to why I played football, enjoying it with my brothers, why I stayed here, why, I love playing quarterback in the first place. And just kind of, taking everything, like, the opportunity to play in Bryant-Denny Stadium in front of, 100,000 fans, like, not many people get to do that. And so the opportunity that I get to do that, and I'm going to make sure that I make the most of it. And so, that's what our message was in the quarterback room, and, I think we all three did that tonight.
Did the picture that you had in your head of what your first start at Bryant-Denny would look like, did it meet that expectation? Did it exceed the expectation?
Yeah, it was great. I pictured it as a win for sure. But I was just really, really proud of the guys. All I care about is winning. And the fact that we played, just great football tonight. 0 points, given up by the defense, and then 70 put up by the offense. Like, that's a great team win. And I'm pretty sure I don't know the stats, but like, do they have 100 yards on offense? No. Exactly. Like, those guys, man, on defense, they came out with a great mindset. D-Law and TK being hurt. Those guys came out to play, and in the line, they did a great job. Germ and Zay and the wide receivers, like Latsier stepped up, Kevin Riley, Richard Young, like those guys, like, man, what a great win, and I'm really proud of those guys, and that's what we're going to keep on trying to do.
What was the key to the rhythm early offensively in your mind?
Make the little things right, details. That's all it is. That's all football is. That's all our offense is. That's what we didn't do last week. That's what we're going to, keep trying to do from now on.
All right, thank you, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.